Hello and welcome to the inaugural edition of Academic Transfer in Focus. My name is Galen Scott and I'm the Associate Vice President for Academic Transfer Programs. In my role as Associate Vice President, I support the Liberal Arts area of study, the Science, Engineering, and Math area of study, the developmental education work that we do at the college, and the folks who work in adult education and literacy. As you probably know, we have a strategic plan here at ACC that has three components. The first is access and enrollment. The second is persistence and engagement. The third is completion and transfer to a four-year school or to a work opportunity. Everything we do in academic transfer programs is aimed at supporting the strategic plan. In other words, it's aimed at supporting our students and their success. We decided that we needed to occasionally tell you what we're doing in academic transfer. We need to highlight some of the good work that is going on with our faculty and our department chairs and our deans. So we conceived of Academic Transfer in Focus. We will do these periodic webcasts to help you know some of the things that are going on around the college. We're happy to be able to bring this information to you, and if you have ideas about things we should focus on in the future, we're also happy to hear those. So thanks for being here. We have with us today Sam Echevarria Cruz, who is the Dean of Liberal Arts, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Sam, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It is great to have you here. We're going to talk today about something new that we're doing in academic programs, and it's largely under the label of institutes. So we'll start with that. Tell us a little bit about how the institutes were conceived. Are we trying to solve student success issues? Are we trying to lower barriers? Tell us a little bit about the institutes.
Well, the institutes were conceived at a variety of points, and one of them was the idea of pathways. How do we get students on an academic path as quickly as possible to their academic goals? And institutes were conceived around the multiple dimensions of how we support our students. As you well know, the majority of our students are part-time, and we know that full-time students have a lower risk of stopping out and not completing. And so we first thought, well, maybe we can design a way where we can get more students supported around full-time enrollment, as well as learning community, something we'll talk about this morning. And that is, do we have the support we need for students to be in contact with each other more often than they usually are? And so putting those together, as well as other pieces like faculty advising and curriculum that's tied together in a meaningful way, we think these institutes will do a good job in that.
And then remind me as well, there's also a component of block scheduling to these institutes.
That's right. One of the key components that runs thematically through all of them is what we call block schedule, where students will be taking courses together, multiple courses together, towards some academic goal or academic end.
So we're offering students, in effect, in addition to the support services and the connections, we're offering them a predictable schedule.
A very predictable schedule for upwards of 2 years.
Okay.
And schedules that will be flexible around their working needs, if they do have to work, or family responsibilities. And so we're trying to do new things, we're trying to experiment, but we have some strong partnerships out in the community, and we have faculty and administrators that are really excited.
Cool. So how many institutes are we going to offer this fall?
We have 8 institutes ready to go.
Okay. And what's the focus of each one?
Well, each one has a certain academic or workforce focus. We have a business institute at Northridge campus, which will, again, around a block schedule, bring students who already have identified an interest in the business, our business degree. And so they will be supported by faculty in a variety of courses, where they will also bring in people from the outside to give them information about business opportunities, both academic and, of course, professional. We have at Riverside a Honda Pact Institute, and that is a partnership with Honda in our automotive technology department, and getting students not just a degree in automotive technology, but getting them prepared for specifically Honda and Acura work paths. And so we're very excited about that, as you can imagine. Our Liberal Arts Institute, which I'm very excited about, being in the liberal arts, and that is a one-year experience around not just core courses, but around a thematic presentation of of curriculum, this year's theme is citizenship.
Okay.
And so this is something we think is a lot of students will understand very deeply given our political climate. We have at South Austin campus a teacher prep institute where students will be preparing themselves for the associate's degree in teaching around a block schedule, around faculty support. Pre-health sciences at Round Rock, which will be a one-year experience to both expose students to the breadth of ACC offerings in the health sciences, but also prepare them academically in their prerequisites for very competitive health science programs. We have a IT Institute, Information Technology Institute at Riverside, and that will lead to a one-year networking certificate. And one of the exciting parts there is a required internship in industry and networking. And so there will be many transitions, we hope, from that networking certificate into an academic degree and into the workforce. We have a pre-engineering institute at Riverside, and that is a one-year preparation for our very successful Chevron Academy partnership with Texas A&M Engineering Department. And so we hope that students who have already identified engineering or are thinking seriously about engineering, they will be here in this institute. They'll prepare mathematically, especially in the sciences, to be accepted to the Chevron Academy, which will then carry them through the A&M. And finally, we have an electronics and advanced industry at Round Rock. This is a partnership with Samsung that would lead to an electronics and advanced industry associate's degree. And that is exciting in that we have a direct partnership with Samsung and their employees, and we're training and educating and preparing them for future professional opportunities at Samsung.
And my memory is that the Samsung Institute also involves an apprenticeship. So I hear some themes in all of those institutes. It's about partnerships, it's about collaboration across dean areas, across departments, collaboration with external entities. So it really embeds a lot in that single notion of an institute.
And what's exciting about that is that you're exactly right, the collaboration. By doing these institutes, deans are working together, administrators are working together, faculty will work together. And good things happen when we work together across a wide variety of academic areas.
Well, let's focus on the Liberal Arts Institute. Tell us a little more about it. What are its goals? What are the basic elements?
Well, the basic elements are that students who enroll in the Institute, we call them Liberal Arts Scholars. They will take 4 courses in the fall, 4 courses in the spring, and 2 in the summer, core curriculum courses that are part of our general studies degree. They will take them in a block, either in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening for the entire year. And with that, as they come in, our goal is to make, first of all, enrollment as seamless as possible, access. And so once they've been enrolled in the Institute, the registration is taken care of in terms of the technical side of it. And so they're ready to hit the ground running. Obviously, in a block, they'll be with all other students in all those 4 courses. The faculty will work together to align the curriculum. And what's most exciting is that we have partnerships with St. Edward's University, and we're building one with Texas State University at Round Rock to offer students direct access to life at a 4-year university, academic paths, advising. And so we really, from day one, we want students to be thinking about that next step already.
Okay. So is that the thing that excites you the most about the Liberal Arts Institute?
That is one of the exciting components. Another one is that because we are working together, the faculty are working together throughout the whole year, they'll be working on one large project. We call it a critical thinking inquiry project, where they'll take a theme, something they're interested in, something that they might be thinking about even professionally, weave it into all their courses, and then present at the end of the year at a symposium.
Okay.
And we want the community to be there to see their students excelling, their students being supported and excited about their studies, and of course about the future.
That's really interesting. What kind of student do you think would do well in this institute?
In this institute, we're hoping students, we hope we get students who are curious. They're coming from high school, the majority of them, and we hope that they're curious. There are a lot of changes happening in society, and it's the liberal arts where we get to discuss those in detail. We get to discuss what it means to be a citizen, what it means to live in a society that's changing, what it means to be a global citizen. And so that would be the first thing I think is really what I'm looking for. Curiosity can take you a long way, because we'll have faculty who would invest you'll be among other curious students. And we're going to be very flexible to make sure that students are really engaged with the material. And another one would be a student who's looking for a much more of a traditional college feel. You'll be taking courses with the same, hopefully 35 people for the entire year. You're going to build strong bonds. You're going to build a lot of academic and personal relationships. And that's something that we rarely get to offer at community colleges generally, and even four-year institutions. So that's another exciting part, and that's the kind of student we hope is interested in this.
And then I heard you say they're coming straight from high school. So are you particularly seeking students fresh out of high school? Is that the population this is aimed at?
We think so, since the courses we're offering are the first set of core curriculum courses.
Okay.
We do have a large dual credit population, but they've already would have taken many of these courses. So we assume it'll be students that are right at the beginning of their academic career that could really take advantage of all the support and the academic environment we're trying to create.
So really, the Liberal Arts Institute doesn't necessarily just prepare students for liberal arts degrees. It could conceivably be a foundation for other academic paths.
That is also an exciting part, in that the liberal arts and the degree itself is flexible. And so we want students to be thinking about math and science and technology, of course even other professions and academic paths. And with our degree and our one-year program, we are embedding the academic preparation for all of those other possibilities. And so we're very flexible. Texas State is very excited because their general studies degree is also very flexible. And so students can take multiple minors, and that's the entire degree at Texas State, and our degree feeds directly into theirs.
Okay. Let's talk about the faculty role in the Liberal Arts Institute a little more. You've touched on it, but what's your vision for the faculty?
Well, we hope that this is an opportunity for faculty to do some innovative work alongside other faculty. Here at ACC, as in many other places, faculty are excellent in the classroom, but we all tend to work by ourselves as we are dealing with and working for our students. We try to create as many opportunities at ACC for faculty to work together. This is a unique one where they'll be working together in their own disciplines, but building bridges across disciplines. And it's true interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary work. So we're looking for faculty who are very excited about thinking new and afresh about their course materials, their curriculum, their whole discipline, and how it helps support our current theme of citizenship.
Okay, and the supports that you're going to provide to these faculty, do you have plans there?
Yeah, we will support faculty with small stipends. We will support faculty with administrative help as well, training and professional development. We have some wonderful resources around how do you break down your curricula and build it back up again when you're working across multiple disciplines. And as well, we will ask the faculty to meet regularly throughout the semester. Since they all have the same students, it will be a wonderful opportunity for them to really be advising students as a group of faculty, as a cohort of faculty. So, we're excited about the learning community that we will develop among faculty, as well as the natural advising support they'll be able to give their students.
Okay, so the students in the Liberal Arts Institute will have a learning community for themselves, right? They will have connections and engagements with faculty. What else can they expect that might make this different?
Well, we plan, St. Edward's is excited about bringing our students, our liberal arts scholars, onto their campus. And so they are looking to see if any of their students would like to consider their honors program. And so there'll be honors faculty coming into the Institute, and we will be taking field trips to St. Edward's University. And Texas State has also offered resources and time and space to bring students onto campus, because everyone in Central Texas agrees that we want these students to succeed. It benefits the entire community of Central Texas. And so those are some real exciting components. We'll also have speakers coming in from the outside in different professional, law, medicine, politics. We hope to show students that a liberal arts experience can prepare you for a wide variety of jobs.
Okay. And then you talked about the symposium at the end of the Liberal Arts Institute. So will that be poster sessions or presentations, or?
Well, knowing the kind of students we have here in Austin, we're going to get a little bit of everything.
Okay.
We'll have poster sessions, but I hope we have videos. We have movies, documentaries. We really want to push narratives. So having students really interview people around them in the community, having students create documentaries and shorts, audio-visual presentations, even online.
Okay.
So we want to be as flexible and let the creative juices flow.
All right. So, just to sum up, what do you think the most important goals are for this institute in particular?
For this institute is that we expose students to some of the foundational questions of what it means to live in a society, and how does that prepare you to not only be a good student, but also a good professional, but as well as a good family member and a good member of the community. You know, we want students, I personally have always told students, education should prepare you not just for a job, but those also life skills to be a productive member of society, and especially in your local community. You know, it is those who have the education that can think more deeply about problems that we do have, education, crime, etc. And so we want students to think of the liberal arts as a place to really build a strong foundation. Wherever you end up, be you an engineer, a doctor, or an automotive technician, the liberal arts can help you in all those areas and dimensions. So that's really one of the most important goals. Of course, academic success, persistence, as you mentioned, and completion. That is our number one strategic goal. And of the institutes in general, I'll say giving students an incredibly special experience, going through courses with the same peers, having faculty who, even though those faculty are teaching core courses in all these institutes, we've asked the faculty and the administration to pick faculty and to bring materials that really speak to the institute course goals and the institute academic goals. So we hope to have general core courses in the Business Institute that really are focused around how liberal arts, for example, can help us understand business and help us understand ethics, business ethics, for example. So we're really excited, and the goals all fit together, as you can say, and I'm excited, as you can see.
Yes.
And so we hope the next frontier is, if this works, and we know we think it will and it'll work well, will be how do we scale this up? How do we get more students involved?
Okay. It's something different, and we believe in trying new things, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, that's
but
true.
Clearly, it sounds like a lot of thought has gone into this across all the institutes, and especially in the Liberal Arts Institute. So.
Well, all the deans working together can be a powerful force.
Yes.
And so this has been one of the most enjoyable parts of my job, is getting to sit in meetings with every dean and think deeply about how we should be working together from here on out.
Right.
So I think you'll see changes in all academics as deans really take seriously the power of breaking down silos and working together.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sam. I really appreciate that. There's information on your screen if you want to know more about the institutes. There's a web page, thanks to our friends in marketing, that will tell you more about each institute. You also have Sam's email address on the screen if you want to email him for more information. Thank you for watching this first webcast, Academic Transfer in Focus. We hope that you learned something and that you are energized by some of the work that's going on in academic transfer. We will house these webcasts on more than one website. We hope to do them with some regularity so that we can keep you informed about what's going on. There's information on your screen about how to get in touch with me. I'm also launching a blog site to try and communicate as well and talk about some of the things that go on in my world. So we very much appreciate your watching this, and we wish you a good day.